Hello, today we're going to talk about could you survive a day without gravity? Like the video and subscribe the channel. Here we go. Imagine waking up one morning to find that gravity, the invisible force that has held you firmly to the earth your entire life, has suddenly vanished. No warning, no gradual change, just an abrupt disappearance of the force that keeps everything anchored. Could you survive a day without gravity? What would happen to your body, your surroundings, and your very sense of reality? At first, the sensation would be disorienting beyond belief. You'd likely find yourself floating gently off your bed, your limbs weightless and drifting. The familiar feeling of pressure on your feet would be gone, replaced by a strange lightness that makes even the simplest movements feel alien. Without gravity, your muscles and bones would no longer bear the constant load they're used to. This sudden lack of resistance would make your body feel weak and uncoordinated, as if you were moving through water rather than air. Your first challenge would be to navigate your environment. Without gravity pulling you down, every push or pull would send you gliding through the air, potentially crashing into walls, furniture, or even the ceiling. Simple tasks like getting out of bed or walking to the bathroom would become complex maneuvers requiring careful control of your momentum. You'd quickly learn that stopping yourself isn't as easy as planting your feet. Instead, you'd have to grab onto something stable or use your hands to slow down. Breathing would remain normal, but your internal organs might behave differently. On Earth, gravity helps keep your blood flowing downward, but without it, blood would redistribute more evenly throughout your body. This could cause your face to feel flushed and puffy, while your legs might feel lighter and less full. Astronauts in microgravity environments often experience this puffy face syndrome, and it can be uncomfortable and disorienting. Your digestive system would also face challenges. Gravity helps move food through your stomach and intestines, so without it, digestion might slow down or become irregular. You might feel bloated or nauseous, and the risk of acid reflux could increase since stomach acids wouldn't settle as they normally do. Drinking liquids would be another strange experience. Without gravity, water wouldn't flow down your throat naturally. Instead, you'd have to suck liquids through a straw, or use specially designed containers to prevent the fluid from floating away in droplets. One of the most dangerous aspects of a gravity-free day would be the risk of injury. Without the constant pull of gravity, your body's sense of balance would be thrown off completely. You might find yourself tumbling uncontrollably, unable to stop or orient yourself properly. Even a small bump could send you spinning or drifting into sharp objects. Your reflexes would need to adapt quickly to prevent accidents, but the lack of gravity would make this incredibly difficult. Psychologically, the experience could be deeply unsettling. Humans are wired to expect gravity. It's a fundamental part of how we perceive the world. Without it, your spatial awareness would be compromised, making it hard to judge distances or directions. You might feel nauseous or dizzy, similar to motion sickness, as your brain struggles to reconcile conflicting sensory information. The absence of gravity could also induce anxiety or panic, especially if you found yourself unable to control your movements. However, there would be some fascinating and even fun moments. You could float effortlessly from room to room, performing flips and spins with ease. Objects would hover around you, and you could push off surfaces to glide gracefully through the air. Everyday activities like pouring a drink or writing would become puzzles to solve, requiring creativity and patience. You might even discover new ways to move and interact with your environment that you never imagined possible. Survival, though, would depend on your ability to adapt quickly. You'd need to secure yourself to a stable surface to rest or sleep, as floating aimlessly would be exhausting and dangerous. Eating and drinking would require special techniques or tools to prevent food and liquids from drifting away. You'd have to be cautious about your movements to avoid injury and conserve energy, since your muscles would tire faster without gravity's resistance. If the lack of gravity lasted only a day, your body might endure the experience without permanent harm, but it would certainly be a trial. Prolonged exposure to zero gravity, as astronauts know, leads to muscle atrophy, bone density loss, and other health issues. But for just 24 hours, the biggest threats would be disorientation, injury, and the psychological strain of living in a world turned upside down. Literally. In the end, surviving a day without gravity would be a test of human resilience and adaptability. It would force you to rethink everything you know about movement, balance, and even your own body. While it might be terrifying at first, it could also open your eyes to the incredible ways life on Earth depends on this invisible force. And perhaps, after that day, you'd never take gravity for granted again.